The Dauntless Crimeans are coming! Greetings and salutations, my name is Deltran, helping you create killing machines so that you can get the most out of Fire Emblem Heroes. Right now, we're doing some of the skills that are coming out of the new banner, Dauntless Crimeans. Specifically, one skill in particular that I think is going to actually really change up how a lot of players are going to approach PvP. I was taking a look at the units, and as many people, I was a little bit disappointed to see that there were two blue units. One that everybody really wanted, Nephenee, and then you got one that no one seems to care about once they have a lance on them with the gems on it, which is Oscar. Now, Oscar definitely looks like he's set up to protect some people, and I think he's protecting us even before we pull him. Let me explain. Whenever you have him there, he's diluting the pool that you can have of people who are going to get Nephenee. And if you take a look at her kit, her B slot is Wrath. Wrath is an amazing skill. Whenever they're at 75% or less hit points, that unit is going to get a cooldown counter decrease every round. And also whenever their special triggers, assuming that it's doing damage, it's going to go ahead and add 10 extra damage. This is amazing. Everybody's already taking a look at this for how it works for Wu Dao. I have a few numbers to throw out here for you to let you know just how well this is going to perform out in the field. I took a look at how Athena would perform with this. Athena was very easy to do some math for. She's an aggressive unit. She wants to go out there and attack. Natively, if you have neutral IVs for Athena, you're looking at around 80 kills against vanilla units. Nothing souped up. But that's actually a pretty big hit for her. If you tweak it slightly and just give her Wrath, she ends up jumping up to 91 kills. She gets 11 more kills. That's not too impressive, but for a B-slot skill, that is great. There's not too many B-slot skills out there that will increase your kill rate like that. Once in a while, you'll see Lancebreaker do that because of how many blue there are in the meta and how often that you tend to need to be able to outspeed them for the units that are out there. This is doing it without needing to have a Lancebreaker, giving you all those extra kills. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this if we give her Quicken Pulse, because as of right now, Moonbow's not guaranteed to trigger. After all, it has a cooldown counter of 2. She needs to attack, that lowers it by 1. The enemy has to retaliate, that lowers it by another 1. Then she has to be able to double them, hitting them again. That gives her Moonbow going off at that point in time. And that's whenever she gets the 10 damage from this. Let's see what happens whenever we give her Quicken Pulse. 106, 106 kills, simply by giving her Quicken Pulse. She's getting 26 kills from this. And honestly, many of the good candidates to receive Wrath have the range of 20 to 30 extra kills that are being given to them just because of this skill going off. Now, once it's activated, you do have to have below 75% hit points, and both skill parts are associated with that. The wording is, the Magic player in me looks at that and says, no, there's a period there. That needs to not be like that. But on the other hand, after looking at Brave Ike and seeing how his B-slot skill was worded, we definitely have been given that precedent. Not to mention, this isn't out of the norm for something to only activate at 75% or lower hit points from a B-slot skill. Now we take that Athena and we give her Life and Death. Life and Death on her is wonderful. Gives her 124 kills. If you give her Quicken Pulse and Wrath on that, that's 143 kills this Athena's doing. That's respectable. I mean, there's going to be, by the time this banner comes out, close to 170 playable units in the game. I could live with 143 kill ratio there. Now this is, once again, just vanilla units. I'm only doing quick math, and some of the math is a little bit fuzzy. There are some corner cases where you need to make sure you're doubling, you need to make sure that you have the special being triggered, but let's talk about a couple other cases here. You don't necessarily need to have a Wu Dao on somebody in order for this to work. Ephraim, for example, has Moonbow. He's only getting 16 or so kills vanilla as it is, and not many people put him out there to be a killer. They put him out here to be a defender, to help mop up, and to be a buff bot. Well, if you give this buff bot a different B-slot, take away that seal that he has, and put in Wrath, now he's getting 20 more kills. 22 more kills, actually, than what he was getting before. And this is amazing. And this just doesn't work for just any old Moonbow user. If you do the same with Pala, she's only getting about 9 kills, and some of those kills are kills that she probably should have had before being a Ruby Sword user, attacking people who are Emerald Axe users. It's embarrassing. But that's not really Pala's forte anyway. you take a look at other users, Kata is a flying unit that has had life breathed into her by having a Wu Dao. If you give her the Wu Dao and a Moonbow, instead of leveraging off of her considerable resistance, if you do that for her, she's getting 29 more kills. 46 more kills, doubling her kill count if you give her Quickened Pulse. So she's hitting 92 kills pretty consistently, being able to do this. Now, we have one problem with all of this Wu Dao and wrathful madness, and that's eventually you're going to exhaust yourself. So these are really specifically meant for one-round battles, for PvP player control. The AI is not going to be able to leverage this. Don't give it to the AI thinking it's going to dominate for you. It's not. The one example may be, if people don't take, I think everybody is taking Brave Ike seriously, you could put this on Brave Ike instead of his current B slot, and whenever he retaliates with Ignis or Bonfire, preferably in this particular case, you want something a little bit faster, that cooldown, he's going to be just triggering that all the time. It's going to trample a little bit, but the extra 10 damage is a little bit nicer, and especially if you put it on him and use him actively, that's sort of better than most other B slots you can give him if you're trying to actually use him actively to go kill things. So let's take a look at a couple other units that have some sustainability. Let's take a look at Draug. Draug, a lot of people also put Wu Dao on him. He comes naturally with a Brave Sword. There's a few things to look at here. I already mentioned Wu Dao. Let's talk about that first. Wu Dao with Moonbow, short cooldown. That's already sort of the idea here. That's why they're good candidates to receive something like Wrath, because you're already leveraging the quick cooldown to be able to leverage the Wu Dao's 10 damage, much like Sonya's Tome. And yes, it works well on her as well, but hold on. Draug, whenever he has that on, if you give him Quick Impulse, he's only getting 19 more kills. That brings him up to 30 kills, naturally, whenever the opponent's at full strength. If you're doing something with a Wu Dao and Bonfire, instead, if you want to use Bonfire, it's no surprise that Bonfire and Ignis are giving a unit like Draug a huge kill count. When Bonfire triggers during his combat round, he's getting 104 kills off of that. If you give him Wrath with that, he's getting 44 more kills. That's 148 kills Draug is getting. It's Draug, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood, and it is crushing all the bones in this particular case. If you give him Brave Sword instead with Moonbow, again, Quick Impulse, you're still looking at like 61 kills naturally, and that's also very repeatable. It's very repeatable because not only is he having a Brave Sword, being able to just slash away and be able to constantly trigger it sort of just because he wants to, but he has the hit points and the defense to continue to go on. Once he's hit that 75% hit point threshold, he's going to be around for a little bit longer in order to continue this up. And if you have him running in an Armor Emblem team that has a lot of ward armor in it, then you're going to be off to the races as far as this is concerned. Let me go ahead and throw one more number at you. You could still also do this too. I mean, and Brave weapon users are wonderful with this. You could put this on your bike. You could put this on your Olivia if you want to. Putting this on an Olivia that's already spec'd out to hurt and hunt Hector with a Wu Dao or with a Ruby Sword, you're giving her 20 more kills on average between the two different sets, between Wu Dao Madness and Ruby Sword Madness, to be able to have her go out there. Now, I'm not necessarily giving this as an endorsement, but that's the thing. There's so many units that are going to be able to use this to get an extra 20 to 30 kills to help patch up sore spots that are here and there, being able to help you get rid of Brave Lynn. On the other side, being able to help you get rid of Reinhardt with some units that are more or less meant to be defenders. They can run up there, kill Reinhardt, and then take incoming attacks from other people. I think that this is going to really help out a lot. I think we're going to see a lot more units coming back to the forefront that just don't get a lot of use, that either need specialized builds or just don't have the oomph. I think that Wrath is going to not necessarily change any meta because, once again, it's not going to be on the defensive side, but this is something that you are probably going to want to look out for. As of recording this, I don't know what the stats are on Nephenee, but I'm assuming they're good, but if you ever get any extras, I would probably highly encourage that you put this Wrath skill on someone else as opposed to merging her. I think it's going to be awesome. I just want you guys to watch out for it. And if you appreciate this heads up, hit that like button. If you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you. And until next time, take it easy.